Images of a child in children's literature. An image of a child is purely based on one's perspective and how they personally view the world. Thus, one picture can depict many meanings. An individual view of an image of a child can be influenced by the environment that surrounds a person, hence constructing a personal understanding and view of a child. A child themselves are influenced by many factors within their lifestyle, such as their cultural context, personal context, attachment bonds, and their future achievements. So the first book that we're going to look at is Tom Tom. This children's literature illustrates the Aboriginal culture that Tom experiences with his family on a day-to-day experience. This children's literature outlines the importance of cultural context in a child's lifestyle and how this particular element builds a child's personality, interests, and skills. Through the eyes of Tom, the book expresses many interactions Tom has with his family that build his identity, such as sleeping over at his grandparents' house, making damper with his grandma, and going to school and playing in the lake with his cousins, sisters, and brothers. This specific picture depicts Tom constructing a campfire in an Aboriginal cubby house, using orange-coloured paper to represent the fire, sticks as the wood, and Play-Doh as a damper. In this particular experience in the book, Tom is incorporating his cultural understanding into his learning throughout the day. This emphasizes the importance of understanding children's cultural context to enable them to exercise their interests and ideas connect to them, both personally and culturally. An image of a child within an Aboriginal context are mostly stereotyped as children that are vulnerable and lack social skills and emotional skills, due to historical events that have impacted their living and social engagement in society. They are Aboriginal children that sense a strong emotion towards their history in relation to their culture and the respect they did not receive till recent dates when they have been accepted and apologized in regards to the stolen generations and many other historical events. In this particular image, Tom was able to collect various materials and resources to create a scenario that he experiences with his family back home. Hence, Tom is able to connect his cultural identity to his daily activities when at school and creating an image of himself that expresses his positive connections with this culture and the importance of him given the opportunity to exercise his experience as an Aboriginal child in his learning community. This emphasizes the significance of integrating cultural importance to early childhood pedagogy to acknowledge and appreciate the cultural context of a child. Children build their developmental skills through expressing their personal style, interests, and opinions that are influenced by growing cultural values and self-experiences. Thus, supporting the main idea of children building their sense of identity through their cultural values and context creates an image of a child that is based on their cultural understanding. As early childhood practitioners, it is vital to understand that an image of a child is not only influenced by their interaction with others, their interests and skills, but also incorporates their cultural context that build their self-identity. Early childhood pedagogy also needs to ensure that they are culturally competent in order to advocate diversity to enable children to feel a sense of belonging, thus building their self and cultural identity that create an image of a child that is influenced by their cultural context. The next book that we'll be talking about is Guess How Much I Love You. This children's literature emphasizes the significance of attachment between a child and a caregiver, communicating a strong bond between a father and a son here that expresses their love for each other. This children's literature demonstrates an image of a child that is seen as a child that strongly believes in attachment and trusting relationships. In this particular book, the characters are represented as soft, innocent, and calm hares. The specific picture that was chosen depicts a strong attachment between a father and son as they express and understand their love for each other. Through this attachment phase, the baby hare has built a trusting relationship with his father, thus enabling the baby hare to express his raw emotions. The image of the child that is being expressed is that all children are able to communicate their emotions with their loved ones, and that all children are calm, expressive, and attached, as the baby hair is in the image. An image of a child that is based on a child that is strongly believes in attachment and creating a trusting bond are mostly seen as children that lack language, social, and emotional skills. Attachment is a major factor that supports children's anxiety levels. For example, the most difficult transitions of the day is separating from a caregiver in the morning. When a child has built a trusting relationship with a particular educator, then this transition process becomes more manageable in comparison to a child that is still building the trust and is forced to let go, and their emotional needs are more valuable. Thus, emphasizing the importance of creating a strong and trusting relationship with a child in order to accommodate their emotional needs and ensuring they are feeling safe and secure and in any given environment. As childhood practitioners, it is important to build a connection with children and especially build a strong, loving, and trusting bond with each child to ensure that children experience a sense of safety and security within the learning environment. All early childhood educators are influenced by theorists and their philosophies, which impact their pedagogical practices. So, to advocate the importance of attachment, there are certain theorists such as Bowlby that explains the main facts and purpose of attachment. Bowlby believed that when a child is attracted to a particular caregiver, they experience a sense of security, leading children to feel confident and to freely explore and interact with their learning environment. Hence, early childhood educators and services need to understand the importance of attachment, as well as understanding the image of a child changes as each child is unique and has their own strengths and abilities. The next book that we're going to talk about is We're Going on a Bear Hunt. This children's literature illustrates family adventures that explore a diverse range of challenging experiences. This particular children's literature communicates an image of a child that is confident, enthusiastic, and adventurous. This specific image expresses many active and challenging experiences that a child overcomes using their previous and new skills. This illustration depicts an image of a child that is inclined to take risks and challenges their strengths and abilities. This image of a child emphasizes the significance of consistently challenging children to explore the environment, as well as expressing that children are capable of engaging in risky play. An image of a child that has an active and adventurous context are stereotyped as children that are socially, physically, and emotionally competent, thus encouraging educators to direct more challenging experience to extend their learning potential. Children are more confident and are more socially competent to be when they're able to interact with themselves and their peers. This positive attribute will increase the children's ability to learn as they are more energized to learn and accept challenging experiences that will further develop their skills. This advantage will also encourage other children to equally participate in experiences as well as observe their peers, acknowledging and challenging and willing to achieve a learning goal. This positive attribute will increase the child's ability to learn as they will be more energized to learn and accept challenging experiences that will further develop their skills. As early childhood practitioners, it is essential that we create a learning environment that accommodates all children's skills and abilities. This also incorporates providing children with continuing and challenging experiences that promotes practical pedagogy that are engaging and attending to all children's needs. Children will also have an interest to learn new and extended concepts that will challenge their learning discoveries, leading them to challenge educators to consistently provide learning pedagogies and environments that enable children to explore and experiment their current and acquired knowledge and skills. The next book that we will be talking about is The Things I Love About School. This children's literature portrays a diverse range of positive attributes of going to school. This book explores the numerous learning opportunities that can be achieved while at school, such as sports, arts, games, and learning new ways of being healthy. This book also communicates that school is an environment that ensures children feel safe and secure, thus enabling them to explore their learning skills and opportunities. The book is also narrated by a soft, warm, and calm bunny rabbit. This enables readers to feel a sense of warmth and security, which then translate to the main purpose, which is the school environments, thus being of similar attributes. This particular image is communicating an image of a child that is inclined to learning all factors of school. School, in fact, does provide young children with various subjects to explore, but not all children connect with each and every element that is presented to them. An image of a child that is exploring the concept of a school environment are more positively reinforce that school is not a difficult transition and that children will learn to adapt to the schooling system. A school environment is an opportunity for children to explore their interests, skills, and strengths that can be used in the future and in a realistic world. This does not mean that children are not going to connect with all given elements of school. For example, some children may enjoy arts over maths or sports over writing. There are certain learning curriculums that require children to learn and participate in all learning elements. But as children experience and grow in the years, they are entitled to experiment with their personal connections with particular subjects. As early childhood practitioners, it is vital to understand that each child is a unique individual who learns in accordance to their capabilities and interests. Children need to be given the opportunity to explore their skills and interests in order to completely commit to a learning experience. Educators are then encouraged to observe, analyze, and act on children's learning interest within the early years of their life, thus enabling children to understand the individual learning pattern. Hence, children are then able to comfortably transition into schooling systems, knowing their strengths, interests, and capabilities. The image of a child that is portrayed in this image is not the same case with all children that are transitioning to school, as they develop their individual skills and abilities that accommodate to their own interest. To conclude, there are many ways to view a child. It is essential to understand that each individual will view a child differently as they have experienced many different concepts and perspectives, thus influencing their image of a child. It is also important to take into consideration the context of a child in regards to the cultural context, attachment needs, active personality, and even viewing the child as a unique individual that builds their personal strengths and skills as they experience new discoveries. Thank you for listening.